this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here with some vellum and I thought let's come along and make a bit of a different new vellum pocket for our junk journals. So this particular pocket I have made using vellum. There's no reason why you couldn't make this vellum with other paper. However, I've designed this pocket specifically for vellum because, and you will see when you make the pocket or when we make it in a minute, because it's going to be stapled together and things, and it's kind of concentrating on a stapled pocket rather than a glued one or anything. So this is what the pocket looks like. It's super simple and super gorgeous, isn't it? So yeah, hopefully you really like it. It's got two pockets, so it's got a little tuck spot here, and then it's got a top loading pocket here. And of course, when you glue it down, you could glue it on, you know, three sides, and then it would be a side loading pocket as well. So they're really, really a nice pocket. So let's have a look and see how we make these. Okay, now I've got some vellum here, or I'm saying vellum, it's really not vellum, it's tracing paper. It's thicker than like the really cheap tracing paper that you would buy. I'm trying to think what this was. It could have been I want to say 110 GSM, but I don't think it's probably as thick as that. But anyway, I got it from Amazon. I'm pretty sure it's on my Amazon kind of store, you know, so you can probably check it out there. But basically, any vellum or tracing paper will do for this. So super simple. All you have to do is you fold your vellum or tracing paper or whatever it is that you're using like this. Now, my paper, I would say that's kind of a roughly a third of the paper. So fold it to approximately a third, and then I'm going to just take off the strip that's overhanging, if you see what I mean. So you can see it there. So as we can see, it's not quite a third because I've got like half an inch there to the side, but that's absolutely fine. Now we're going to just tear this down, or you can cut it. As you can see, I mean, I've not folded that quite in line with the edge. Again, none of these things really matter. You know, these are going to be very forgiving pockets. So, you know, it's all good. You're not going to have to worry about anything like that. Okay, so this is going to be the basis of your pocket. Now, then what we want to do is we want to make the tuck spot. So basically, fold, you know, like with your nails or with a bone folder or something, just again, I would say like the top third of the paper, and then open your paper out and just tear down that kind of approximate third. And again, you know, I'm using these kind of terms loosely. It doesn't have to be a third. It's kind of just approximate measurements. Okay, so like that. Okay, and then you just fold it over, and that's your tuck spot now down there. Now, obviously, tracing paper or vellum is very flimsy. So what we want to now do is kind of reinforce this back piece just to make the pocket a little bit sturdier. So all you're going to do is fold your top piece down kind of backwards like that. Okay, like that. And that's basically reinforced your back flap. So this is now kind of much stronger. Now all you're going to do is go around your pocket, stapling all of the bits down. So we want to staple down, obviously, this top piece. Now we're using stapler. You could, of course, use, you know, sewing machine or anything. You could use glue. I mean, a glue's hit and miss, I find, with vellum and tracing paper. You know, sometimes it glues really wonderfully. Sometimes it glues, what's the word, like kind of ruckering the paper. I don't know really whether that's the correct term, but you know, when the paper puckers, it kind of does that effect on the tracing paper. So, you know, experiment around, but basically I find, you know, stapling is a great alternative. So if you're kind of concerned that your paper will be, you know, puckered or anything like that, then just use your stapler. Then obviously you want to go down on the other side, again doing exactly the same. So just kind of a couple of staples down here like that. That's stapled down your bottom tuck spot, and then obviously a couple of staples here to staple your back section together. I have to say I've mucked mine up because I didn't then quite staple to the top of here. So yeah, I'm going to have to add another one. So you might be thinking, oh gosh, that looks really awful and hideous because we've got staples everywhere. I used my Tim Holtz tiny attacher for this. For my original one, I used my normal standard size stapler. So I'm just going to kind of show you the difference. Obviously, you know, you may find that you need more staples, obviously, with the tiny attacher because they're tiny. But that being said, they're not going to be as visible and noticeable. But, you know, again, I don't mind the look of staples. It depends really what you kind of like. But obviously this side is a folded edge. So, I mean, you don't need staples like here because it's just folded in. You've only needed the staples here to obviously establish your tuck spot there. Okay, so then what you can do is, you know, this is plain tracing paper or, you know, vellum. So I'm going to ink mine up, which straight away, you know, transforms it anyway. So, you know, instantly it becomes much more attractive. I mean, not for everyone's tastes, I realise, you know. I mean, some people perhaps don't really like the vintage look. I mean, I know my daughter is like, oh my goodness, mum, you're making that look hideous and old again. But yeah, I mean, I like the hideous old look. So there we go. That's all there is to the basic pocket. So then you can obviously get decorating. Now, for the decorating, because obviously, you know, we're going to be gluing things on here, it doesn't really matter if you're using glue. Now, I'm going to just take, again, you know, scraps and things that I've got laying around. So I just happen to have this. This is from my new lavender, lovely lavender collection of background papers. And yeah, I've just got this gorgeous lady. So, you know, it's just an offcut. I might as well use it. You know, there's nothing more satisfying than being able to use bits that are laying around. So just take that. Now I'm going to just ink her up as well. So she's kind of matching the look that we've got going on here on our pocket. And she can just kind of tuck in like, like that. Oh, excuse me, I've suddenly got a frog in my throat just since switching the camera on, would you believe? Now I'm going to just take this just as an extra kind of bit of decoration. Maybe I will take this little, you know, decorative piece of text as well. So yeah, looks kind of pretty. Oops, just go down like that. Okay, and just take that down like that. Okie dokie. We'll just ink around like that. Okay, so it's all now looking nice and grunged up. And then what I did with my original piece, so, you know, the piece that I've got there, is I just took some decorative elements. Now, I've got this lovely floral trim, so I'm going to use some of that. Obviously, it's, you know, it's kind of matching the purpley colours that I've got on here. So I'm just going to kind of use that. And then maybe some lace or something down the bottom. Again, just seeing what I've got laying around. This might not be the lace that I want to use, but let's just give it a try and see. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. What do we think? Oops. I mean, again, you know, maybe I'd prefer to have it this way. Let me just take this down. I don't know whether this is the right lace, if I'm truthful. So I'm just going to take this header part off. Always like to remove that. It kind of looks a little bit, oh, not manly, but, you know, kind of not very delicate when it's on there. So yeah, if I can, I like to try and take the header part off. So I mean, straight away that looks quite pretty now, doesn't it? So I'm going to just go in with my hot glue, I think, now very lightly on here, and just glue this on. Okay, like that. Take it off at the edge. So straight away, you know, I've covered up my staples at the bottom. They're no longer visible. And then I can just take my little row of flowers and, you know, use anything that you want. You don't have to have, obviously, you know, flowers or anything like that. If you do like the trim and, you know, you haven't got any, I do sell the floral trim in my shop on my website. So, you know, feel free to sort of have a look, but you don't obviously have to have any of these little bits and pieces. And then I just kind of, you know, decorated it like this, which I thought just went really well. Sorry, I've been having my glue tipped up and leaning on my hot glue so that it's definitely not going to be causing a problem. And of course now it's oozing out all over the desk. Oops, forgot and used my wet glue for that. Really was meaning to use my hot glue, but anyway, it doesn't matter, it's all fine. Okay, so I'm going to glue this piece down here, and again, just going to be super lazy and just use the hot glue for this. Okay, and obviously she had to tuck slightly up into the tuck spot there. Just glue her down. And then I'm going to just pop my flowers down like that. Okay, so I'm going to apply the glue to the flowers this time rather than onto the vellum itself. Oops, oops. Things are dropping down off my desk now. I've just knocked them and they've like slid down past Bo in her bed beside me. So for anyone who doesn't watch my channel, Bo, that's my sausage dog, she's kind of like taking her life in her hands there and there. Any old stuff could be dropping down on her, to be honest, at any given moment. Okay, and then I can just put this little bit up here. You know, I'm just following the format basically of what I did with the previous one. Obviously, you know, you don't have to do what I'm doing here. You know, I'm just kind of, oops, giving examples of some little decorating, you know, decorative effects that you could kind of use. They're just keeping it very simple, and also a great way of covering up obviously the staples. So, you know, like there, for instance, I could just pop a little staple on, a little purple flower. And that's just going to cover up another staple over the other side. But like I say, I mean, you know, I quite like the staples, so I don't feel they need to be, you know, necessarily covered up anyway. But how gorgeous does that look? It looks so pretty, doesn't it? I do have this wax seal. I'm not sure really whether I need it, but I do like a wax seal, it's got to be said. So yeah, we could have a wax seal on there, maybe down the bottom, maybe there. Okay, again, that just was floating around on the desk and it just happened to be the right color. I mean, what were the odds of that, to be honest? Very slim, weren't they? So yeah, it was kind of meant to be. And that's all there is to that gorgeous pocket. And I mean, I can't see the time quite to see how how long I've been filming for, but I'm pretty sure it's only like 10 minutes or so. So very, very quick and easy, aren't they? And then, of course, just going to show you now. So you've got your tuck spot here. Oops. Tuck spot here that obviously you can, you know, pop a little journal card in. And then, of course, I'm not going to have anything suitable for tucking into the top pocket, which is a shame. Oh, this is annoying. So, yeah, and then you've got your back pocket there. And as I say, when you then use it, glue it down on 3 sides, and then you'd have a side loading pocket as well. So, aren't they just so yummy and scrumptious? I just absolutely love them. So, let's make another couple. So, I've got another sheet of the plain vellum. So we'll do another one with the plain, and then I've also got some printed vellum that we will try and make a couple with the printed as well. So just so as we get, like, you know, a couple of different looks. So again, just to kind of reiterate, fold it sort of about a third, you know, not a big deal. It doesn't have to be exact. And then take your back section just roughly in line, okay? Squish that down like that, and then just tear that off. So, you know, I mean, I'm not even really using my scissors here. I'm literally, you know, tearing, I'm literally stapling, so I'm not gluing, I'm not cutting, I'm not doing anything, you know, dramatic at all. Dramatic? Well, anything complicated or anything fiddly or at all. So, again, tear your side down like that. and then that's going to form your little tuck spot here. Okay, so just literally fold that down like that, and then your back you're going to then fold in like this. Now I have to say, I've just straight away folded it back on itself, backwards. I mean, probably there's no reason why you couldn't fold it forwards, which we might have to do when we use the decorative paper. We shall see in a minute. I haven't obviously made one of these from decorative papers, so I'm not sure, you know, how different they're going to be. You know, we'll have a look in a second. So then take your stapler and then literally, whoops, staple down your pockets. So one, in fact, cut down on the staples. I'm going to kind of like staple across those, that join mark, if you see what I mean. And then down here like that. And then at the bottom of the tuck spot. And then obviously down the sides of the bottom section. And then just across the bottom like that. Oops, have I run out of staples? No. Sometimes when you run low on staples, staplers don't like it, do they? So they start misbehaving. So that's all what's going on there. There we go. Like that. And then up here, again, I'm going to kind of staple across those two. Oh, gosh. I'm going to just top my staples up because it's not kind of liking the staples running a little bit low. So, oops. There we go. And just quickly top those up. So, I mean, these are so quick because, like I say, they've, you know, they've not even got any cutting. They've not got any gluing. I mean, seriously, they are like, you know, a dream pocket, to be honest, to make. So, yeah. So, again, stapling, you know, across the join. And that's then not only reinforcing the top section, but it's also obviously stapling down the tuck spot as well. So, and then just one down the bottom. There we go. So, I mean, I was a bit more kind of thoughtful and deliberate with how I stapled there. So hopefully that cut down on the number of staples anyway. So again, just ink this up. Like I say, I mean, not everybody wants to obviously ink their vellum. Perhaps you like it, you know, a bit more white and bright. You know, but I quite like the inked look, and I think it just transforms it completely. It just looks, you know, really, really, really pretty, doesn't it, once it's inked up and things. So then I'm just going to have a look, see what decorative papers I've got laying around. So now, for some reason, I have chosen to use thicker paper. Now, again, this is really because on the vellum, even when the piece you're gluing is not vellum, i.e. is paper, I find that gluing paper onto vellum can sometimes pucker the paper. Oh my goodness, pucker the paper. That kind of felt like a tongue twister. So this is my tea collection papers. So I'm just going to just tear this lady here. Now, I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to get in, but yeah, we'll have to obviously tear that down there. Okay, so just tear it across the bottom. Yeah, for some reason, if you then kind of glue paper onto vellum, it still puckers the paper. And I think that's because the vellum underneath the paper puckers. I feel like I'm saying that tongue twister, you know, the pick a pepper, Polly picked a pepper or something. I don't know. Not quite sure what that tongue twister is now. I'm coming to think of it. I'm not sure I've ever really said it before, but anyway, that tongue twister, if you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I think it's Polly picked a pepper or something like that. I feel like I'm saying that every time that I say this, but yeah, you're puckering the paper with the vellum beneath the paper puckering, if you see what I mean. So the motion of the paper puckering then puckers the paper. No, the motion of the vellum puckering then puckers the paper. Oh my goodness, like, wow. Wow, can't believe I actually just said all that nonsense. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like nonsense, but it's true. It's honestly true what happens. So, yep, I'm going to just take her down slightly more because otherwise she's tucked quite high onto the, or into the tuck spot. So there we go. Right. Again, just ink her up. So if you use a thicker quality paper, i.e., you know, this is 250 GSM, it's a photo quality paper, so much, much thicker. You can then glue this on with, you know, hot glue instead of wet glue, although to be honest you probably could get away with doing the wet glue now because the paper's so thick it's not going to pick up the puckered effect. So, you know, kind of play around, but yeah, I find, you know, if you use a thick paper rather than a thin paper, you're going to get away with obviously not having that puckered effect. So, you know, it's just worth kind of like bearing that in mind really. So again, going to just use some of these little flower trims, maybe just running down the edge here. Okay, so I'm just lining the things up before I actually commit to this. Now I have got some ribbon here, which I'm just thinking maybe that might be quite nice instead of lace. What do we think? I don't know. Feels like it's a little bit boring, but what do we reckon? Maybe quite nice. I'm just going to try and ink this and see whether it looks a bit better inked. So, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with it now, but just felt like it's not quite looking quite as good as I'd hoped. But yeah, I think perhaps if I ink it, it looks better. I don't know now. Not sure. Oh, do you know, let's just go for it because yeah, let's not sit here dithering about. Let's actually just commit to a decision. Right, okay, so I've inked quite a bit of that ribbon. And again, you know, I'm just using things that are sat around on the desk. So, right, going to again just use the hot glue, but like I say, I'm pretty sure that if you're using the thick paper, probably you could get away with using normal glue, you know, wet glue, because although the vellum will still pucker, oh my goodness, what's going on with this? Oh dear, I'm looking this up completely. Look, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I've not made a good job of this. Look this one up. I've dabbed hot glue now onto the vellums. That looks rubbish. Oh my goodness, I don't know quite honestly what went on there, but yeah, not good. Right, let's put that there. Let's put my ribbon kind of gathered at the bottom. Right, let's gather the ribbon at the bottom first, and then we'll kind of like play around and see. So again, go straight across the bottom, gather my ribbon. So just like we do with the sari silk, like that. Okay. Looks very cute, doesn't it? Like that. And then, right, let's pop this here. Just kind of leaving this here for a minute because I'm thinking that's how it's going to look. Now, I mean, we could go right down the side with the ribbon, to be honest. That might actually look really nice. Do you know, I'm thinking that's going to look better. So I'm just going to have to obviously ink the ribbon up a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of doing that, to be honest, before, but I think it's going to look very, very pretty. Okay, right. So I'm going to start here next to the, you know, where it was there. So straight down there and take your ribbon. So this is like a cotton type ribbon. It's not, you know, obviously it's not satin or anything like that. Yeah, it's more like a sort of cotton ribbon, but very cute, isn't it? I've had it for quite a long time, and to be honest, you know, never really managed to use it. Always struggle a bit with, oh, what shall I use it on? That being said, it looks 100% better being inked up. I mean, not that I didn't like it bright, but yeah, I mean, obviously, because we like the vintage look, it looks 100% better being inked, doesn't it? So yeah, might really like using it now. Right, then I've got my thingamy-bob. And again, you know, I'm just using this as a sort of example, really, of, you know, very simple decorating. So we've got the same concept going on with all of our pockets, really. So, and obviously that's higher than it was, oops, on the last one, but still looks gorgeous, doesn't it? So yeah, really like it. And then here, I think, just going to actually cut, I think, a couple of the roses out. So I just cut them, and actually I'm thinking perhaps we could ink them, just so they're a bit more in keeping colour wise. So that looks better, doesn't it? Oops, what did I do with those other ones? There we go. Okay, now just check. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we should have these separate. Oops, like that. Something like that, I think. So yeah, let's have one here like that. One over here. Okay, and then just these couple up here. So, you know, as you can see, very minimal staples even showing. I mean, that one especially. You know, there's hardly any staples actually that even show on there, but that's all there is to them. Aren't they just the most gorgeous little pockets? I mean, they're just, you know, so quick, so easy, and so cute, aren't they? So yeah, really, really like them. Again, I haven't really got anything suitable to show you, but just, oops, just to quickly kind of highlight. Oops, that's not really right. Okay. Pocket here, or, you know, tuck spot there. And then obviously pocket in the back. So aren't they just so cute? So let's do one now with some decorative vellum, which, like I say, I haven't actually tried so far. So I'm quite excited to try it. So I've got this. This is from my butterflies collection background papers. So I'm going to just fold that down there. Now I've gone on the other side straight away because this side's got this gorgeous huge butterfly, and obviously if I'd done that straight away, the flap's going to, you know, tuck down, and then, you know, you're not going to see that lovely butterfly. So I didn't want to cover it up. So then obviously back on itself like that. Okay, and then just we're going to tear this down. Again, I'm just using the same methods, i.e. tearing rather than cutting. Okay. Like that. Now for this one, so I'm going to just take my tuck spot down. Oops, just check actually, because we could have this at the front rather than this side. That's where, yeah, perhaps we'll do that. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. I'm making a big deal about nothing, but oh, I can't decide. Right, let's just tear this down, and then maybe we can decide then. So we could have that one. Let me just check that way, or we could have that way. Gonna have this way. Right, I don't know why it matters. It probably doesn't, but anyway. So folding that down, now obviously our vellum is kind of not exactly back to front, but, you know, kind of obviously it's the underneath that's showing rather than this section. So that's fine, I don't mind that. But I'm wondering for this one, you know, I said about maybe tucking it this way rather than straight away backwards. So for this one, I'm going to just take it and tuck it here like this. So it's going to literally tuck into the pocket like that. Okay. And that way we've got the paper the right side up there instead of the wrong side, if that makes sense. So like that. Okay, then we're going to staple obviously exactly as we did with the others. So again, going to use my stapler here to go across those two parts, if you see what I mean. So stapling this, and then yeah, trying to be a bit more mindful of how I'm stapling again, just to kind of like cut down on the amount of stapling that's needed. So like that, and then straight across the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then going up here exactly the same. So across here like that, 1 in the top, and then 1 in the middle, and then 1 at the bottom of the tuck spot. And then again, exactly like the other one, I'm going to ink around it, partly because obviously where we've torn that paper or the vellum, you know, we've now got that kind of inner core, which is, you know, quite white looking. So if we just ink around that, it just disguises that kind of core and, you know, tidies it up basically. So like that, like that. And then, you know, again, just go across here and things, and obviously at the bottom of that pocket or tuck spot. So like that. Now I have to say, I hadn't really planned what I was going to actually put here. So I'm just having a look to see what I've got floating around on the desk, which we could use. Strangely, I'm not loving the square piece. I would prefer something torn. So let's just see. Again, I've got these from my Paris collection papers. So I'm just going to take these. This just happens to be pretty good colour match, doesn't it? So I'm going to take this kind of photo portion like that. Okay. Oops. I'll have to go up the under the tuck spot slightly. So yeah, I'll tear this down here, and I'm just going to tear that little pink edge off like that. Okay, and then we're just going to ink around there again, mainly just because the core of the paper is kind of showing, so get rid of that. Okay, so that's going to glue on there. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous does that look? It's very kind of regal, isn't it, this background paper? Right, what do we have here that we could kind of take down to glue across here, just because, again, you know, following the same format that we have done with the others. So just seeing. Okay, well, I have got this actually, so yeah, take this down. Okay. Oh my goodness, wonky or what? Wonky or what? And then just tear this down here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that down narrower. Like that. Right, okay, so again, just ink this up. Okay. Oh my goodness, how lovely is this looking? I mean, this is very, very, very different looking, isn't it, to those other ones, because the other ones were obviously quite, well, obviously very pale and light in colour. This is very dark and sultry. Just wondering whether we could have this ribbon. I mean, to be honest, the ribbon doesn't not go, does it? It looks quite pretty. Let me just see what lace I've got in my drawer. My lace drawer is actually kind of, I'm not saying running low. I mean, if you could see it, you'd be like, what's she talking about? It's hardly running low. But it's kind of running lowish compared to normal. Yeah, it's getting to the point it's sort of beginning to run low. Now, what do we think to this? I mean, what if we kind of mixed it with the ribbon? because I'm thinking these flowers, you know, all the little flower trims that I've got, I don't think are really going to kind of go particularly on this paper. It's, yeah, hadn't really thought about that, but they're not going to look great. So let's take that. Just going to cut off that wavy edge like that. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, right, let's glue the picture down. I should really go in with my wet glue, to be honest, because especially after the mess that I made just now when I was using the hot glue, maybe it would, like, you know, be simpler to use, but oh well. I've started with the hot glue, so now I'm just going to carry on now. So yeah, right. Now I'm thinking maybe ink this lace up because it's quite bright, isn't it? So yeah, let's kind of just ink this up so it's a bit more antique looking. Oh my goodness, how pretty does that look? Oh, yummy, yummy, love it. Okay, right, that there. Although now I'm thinking actually maybe this one. Oh, I don't know actually. Wonder if we should have both of those. Yeah, maybe both of these for this one. Now, do we think down this edge we should have a bit of that ribbon? I think that would look quite nice, to be honest. So right, let's glue this lace on down the bottom. So just going to go across with my hot glue. Okay, and then just, yep, press the lace on. Okay, like that. Oh my gosh, doesn't that look gorgeous? Really, really love it. Yeah, I mean, I don't think these roses are going to be all right, but let's just double check. Just going to check, like, because I mean, obviously with the others we had like the roses with another bit of lace, didn't we? So let me just take the lace. Just going to ink it up again. Okay, we just cut that curly edge off. Okie dokie. Like that. Just going to ink these flowers up and just see whether we can kind of dull them down. Like, you know, because I mean, obviously they're quite bright, which is, you know, not necessarily quite right, is it, for this? Just going to cut one off. I mean, that's not too bad. What do we think to that? Oh, that's quite pretty. Yeah, I love how that looks, actually. So we're going to pop this on. Okie dokie, like that. I don't know what that noise is outside. Sounded a bit like the bin mem, but weird because it's not bin day. But Bo obviously heard it. She's kind of shot out of the room, and she's not really full on barking. I think she's a bit like me, saying, "What is that? What is that?" Right, let's just pop this down. So again, just gonna go down here like that. Oh, 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 oh. Dearie me. Too busy thinking about what it was outside. Mucked that up quite a bit, but never mind. Right. Yeah, and then just those little roses there look very cute, don't they? Surprising how much you can tone the roses down, to be honest, by just inking them. You know, they kind of come right down from being like very, very bright to yeah, much more subtle. Oh my gosh, how gorgeous does that look? Now I have also just got some of my little flowers here. I don't know, these are probably going to look rubbish, to be honest, but let's just see. And that's the thing. I go from this standard format of decorating to then before I know it, I'm like dragging in everything. Anything and everything that I can find. Oh well. I've got one of my little frame pieces. So, I mean, again, you could just stick some things like this on, you know, where you've got the staples, and again, just cover the staples up like that. Again, you know, I must say, not that I necessarily feel like the staples need covering up, because, you know, I honestly don't really mind them. That being said, I might use this just because this is like laying around on my desk, and to be honest, this is the perfect thing. You know, it looks perfect on here, so it gets it off of my desk. But yeah, I mean, I actually don't think those staples look terrible, or they need covering up anyway. But you know, just you can fill in your edge pieces. Isn't that so pretty? I just absolutely love it. So again, you know, to demonstrate, you've got your tuck spot obviously up there, and then you've got your larger pocket at the top. Not that I can see anything again that's going to remotely go with this, but I mean, I'm not saying this obviously, but just to show you obviously the pockets there. So let's do one more. So I've got some more decorative you know, tracing paper here. So yeah, let's just quickly go in and do one more, I think, just because, you know, why wouldn't we? So yeah, again, just take your vellum or tracing paper, so in like that, and then just take your back piece down. I mean, I have to say, they are so quick and easy. Honestly, they're like really addictive. I feel like I could make tons of these, you know, because they're just coming together so quickly, which not everything does. So when you find something that does, it's kind of like, wow, let's make more of those. Okay, now I'm thinking, I'm not sure which way, again, that we want to fold this. I think the front, you know, this side, because I really love that blue and I don't want to have it folded down. That being said, we're not going to be able to see it anyway, so probably totally irrelevant. There we go. Right, and then we're just going to tuck this down like that. Okay, again, we've tucked it in so that the vellum is actually then right way round again, if that makes sense. So like that, we're going to just take our stapler, okie dokie, and then, yep, 1, 2, 3, and then one on the kind of edge of that tuck spot, and then 1, 2, 3, and then obviously across the bottom. I mean, like I say, I made the first one using, you know, my big stapler. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of using the Tim Holtz one now. But definitely you can use a big stapler for this. And to be honest, they looked fine too. You know, you don't have to have a tiny stapler or anything to make these. They look just as cute, you know, with big staples or small ones. So, again, just ink around. You know, and this is the same reason, like the last piece that I said, you know, if nothing else, it's just disguising where we've got that torn edge with the core. Obviously, you don't have to tear your edges. You know, you may prefer to cut your edges. I'm just doing this nice and quickly to show you just how quick and effortless these can really be. Now, for this one, I'm kind of thinking maybe use this because it's here on the desk. And I just think, well, you know, let's just use what we've got here. So let's just see, you know, I've already torn into this sheet of paper anyway, so if we could use the other section of it, that's even better. Oh my gosh, and doesn't that look gorgeous on there? Now, again, up here, I've got this section, which hopefully is going to go brilliantly on here. So, yeah, now the question is, which part do I want to use? So let's take that down like that. This is going to be too long, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I'll just take that down. Okay, This might be too long as well. Now I'm looking at it, actually. Oh, it might be okay. Yeah, might be okay. Right, let's just then take this down. Now I'm thinking, yeah, I don't want her head to be under the tuck spot. You know, I don't mind, obviously, some of it. You know, some of the paper, but not her head. Not, I didn't mean some of her head. I don't mind some of her head being under there. Yes, I do. I mind any of her head being tucked under there, to be honest. So, yeah, let's do it like that. Right, again, let's quickly ink this up. Oops. Oh, dear. Just dabbed glue on there now. Oh, dear. Right. So, I'm going to glue this on, you know, so it's kind of fixed on now and it's not keep moving about. Again, just using the hot glue. Like that. Okay. And to be honest, it's not even, you know, it's not even going under that tuck spot there, if you can see. So that's very good. Right, take my little top piece here. I mean, I thought this was perfect. I'm not quite so sure now. It might be a little bit dark, but we'll see. Let's just see. Okay. Right, and then I'm thinking this lace again, because when we coloured this lace, it was so pretty. It just really looked lovely. So yeah, kind of thinking maybe this lace again, maybe a bit up here again, like that. So let's just take that down. Again, I'm not sure at all that I've got any flowers or anything like that to put in this side bit. I don't really think I have. So we'll have to be a bit imaginative and come up with something else again. I don't think I've got any other frames or anything like that that we can use. So, oh my goodness, have I done the inking on that lace now? Oh gosh. Oh, perhaps I should have quit while I was ahead after making just a couple, because I've now gone into like disaster movie mode. So I hope everyone's having a good day. Maybe you're doing some crafting. I hope you're having a nice time. Yeah, the weather's weird here today. It's kind of overcast. And again, I say this all the time. I'm filming this ahead, so I don't know when this video will go out. It may be that, you know, it might be the middle of winter by the time this video goes out, in which case it would be highly appropriate to say that the weather's not great, you know. But it might be that it's, you know, it's summer and it's a boiling hot day. Who knows? But yeah, when I'm filming this, it's just not anything great out there. Right, okay, so I've got that like that. Just having a look around to see what I might have laying around that I can fill in this little space here. And I mean, like I say, you don't even need to fill it in with anything, you know, it's only if it's kind of bothering you. You know, with the staples showing, I'm just merely demonstrating, I suppose, how you would cover up. But I mean, actually, as you know, as it goes, I don't mind those staples showing. But yeah, just to kind of like give you some ideas, really. So, for example, here, I mean, you could do something like that down the edge, which would cover them up. I mean, it's not quite right, to be honest. Might even have a label or something that I could use. Let's just see. Oops, I've got some here. Hang on. Yeah, just got a sheet of labels here. So, loving this one. So, take this one down. I think this is probably going to be too big, but we'll see. Again, I'm just kind of grabbing things that happen to be laying around on the desk. And I just happen to have this sheet of labels. But yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, I would have printed them smaller for this particular project. But hey, they might look okay. Right. Yeah. So, I mean, literally, we could just use the tiniest part of this. Like that. Okay, so what I will probably do, in fact, I'll cut that down now. Right, so then we can ink it up, sorry, before gluing it on. So Right, I haven't glued the lace down yet, so let's glue the lace down like that. Okay, like that. Oh my goodness. Must say, loving this one. I have to be honest, I've kind of liked them more and more. Every one that I've done, I'm like, oh, I like that one. Oh, now I like that one. Oh, now I like this one. Yeah. But honestly, they're so quick and so easy. I just love them. I mean, I love anything that's quick and easy. So yeah, this is right up my street. So I hope that you guys like them. I mean, I do find, you know, vellum and tracing paper, that kind of thing, it can be a bit tricky to work with. And, you know, it's a shame because it looks so pretty. But yeah, it can be a little bit tricky because obviously, you know, it does kind of tend to pucker your paper sometimes when you glue it. So, you know, this hopefully is giving just a couple of examples of how you could be using it, you know, that's going to be kind of kind to your paper. Did I ink this already? It doesn't really look inked, but never mind. Right, so, yeah, just pop that little label in there like that. Okay. Okie dokie, like that. Oh my goodness, I mean, how gorgeous does that look? It's so pretty, isn't it? And then actually I've got some ivory flowers in this little packet. So yep. I mean, I have got that blue one, but oh, actually, is that blue or is that green? Looked really blue in the packet, and now since I've got it out, I'm like, it might be green, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, that's gorgeous on there, isn't it? So yeah, let's just pop a flower down there like that. Okay, that's so pretty. And then just maybe one of these little diamante centers. Oh my gosh, how gorgeous is that? Love that. That's so pretty. Okay, yeah, love that. Now, don't think we probably need another flower, but hey, let's just check because, oh, I'd hate to not use one if we could. I mean, that's a bit weird because it's like, oh, lined up. What do we think? Just going to ink this flower up a bit because it's a bit bright. Yeah, perhaps we'll have that one up there. So we'll just pop this on here. Oh my gosh, how pretty is that? And to be honest, this one, I'm not going to actually put down the, you know, I'm not going to put a gem in the middle of it or anything because I don't want it to look too, you know, too symmetrical or uniformy. Want it to be a little bit more eclectic. So yeah, so again, you know, and again, I don't have quite the correct things to obviously put in here, but just to again demonstrate, you've got top loading pocket here, and then of course you've got your little tuck spot up there like that. So aren't they just so cute? And honestly, I mean, we've made 1, 2, 3, 4 just in this little video here. And when I say made them, I mean we've made and decorated 4. So yeah, they're very quick and easy, and that was obviously my prototype one that I've made before the video. So I really hope that you love them. I hope it's given you some ideas and things. I'd really love to hear in the chat below which one is your favorite. How's your best way to use vellum? What do you find is the best way to use vellum for, you know, fastening it or, you know, securing it? Do you get on well with glue? If you don't find your glue puckers, share below which glue do you use, you know, that seems to work well. So yeah, share everything in the chat below. Really appreciate it if you'd give this video a big thumbs up. Maybe subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And yeah, thank you so much. Have fun if you decide to make some of these. Thanks then. Bye.